Okay, so now this is a continuation of Phase 3, Chapter 2 from General. Chapter 2 is REBA 2002 and real estate transactions. Okay, now the first paragraph covers working with clients and customers. Now let's understand this thoroughly as much as possible. So working with clients and customers, you're providing services, you're going to treat everyone fairly honestly and with integrity. So everyone is going to get the same good treatment from you. You're going to make very conscientious decisions, and you're going to give competent services to both clients and customers. Now, offering opinions, registrants usually want to demonstrate strong skills, knowledge, and judgment when they're doing answering their questions. And the way you want to do that is you want to avoid opinions, you want to avoid your thoughts on it, and you want to show them based on what you have factually. So if I wanted to show you the value of the property on your street, I will pull up the comparables. I might show house values of the same builder within the same 2 or 3 kilometers in the vicinity. I would rather give you factual information than tell you my opinion.
So you're technically legally not allowed to say, I think your house is worth this much money. You got to show them
Not if you can back it up, because that's not competent on your part.
Okay.
Right? I mean, like if you sold one last week and it was your listing, Kyle, that's a different story. You can say, well, I just sold that house next to you for this amount of money. Now that I'm looking at your house, it's extremely similar. So based on that, and based on the market, not changing within a week, really, it's worth about probably this range, the same range you just presented to the other client. But that's an exceptional case. In most cases, the book's referring to meeting a brand new client for the first time. Yeah. Okay. Also, sorry about the noise.
It's all right. I can hear you.
So also then dealing with other people, for example, now it's going to refer to is for other registrants. You're not going to interfere in their contracts or with their clients. You should also not try to induce clients to break their contracts. You shouldn't be chasing clients unethically in an unethical, like, it's really unethical to basically go after another agent's clients if they're already working with them, and there's no real reason why they need to leave them.
And to help, coach them on how to get out of the contract.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's just say I'm your client, right? I'm with Kyle. I'm like, you know what? Kyle's kind of busy. He's got a family. He can't really show me houses on Saturday and Sunday. So I go to another agent, your friend, your colleague, and I start complaining about you. Now, if you have a client that's acting like that, if he's in a BRA and into a contract, you shouldn't really try to solicit it if it belongs to another agent. It's really good faith practice.
Okay.
Right? I mean, you wouldn't want it done to you, so you usually don't want to do it to another person. Yeah? Right? So you want to keep the client's interests at best of heart, of course, and not let it get too personal. You want to keep business business. That's really what they want you to understand. Okay? Now, services from others, if you're going to start recommending a qualified person, RICO, for example, if I was a realtor and I wanted to give you 3 mortgage agents to choose from, that would be okay with RICO. If I gave you one person to go to, that would not be okay with RICO.
You have to do 3 or just more than 1?
They want 3, usually. Okay. Usually a choice of 3. And they don't want you to push it on the client either. They want to say, here's 3 people I know, here's 3 people I've done business with, you can pick one of them if you want to. But you're not obligated to, so you have to make that clear.
Yep, okay.
You can just say, I've done business with them, I like them, my clients like them, so here you go.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's the same idea. Try it when it says here, the services from others. You don't want to be persuading or not persuading people who are giving you services like the home inspector as well. It's also referring to that. So don't try to give them advice or tell them what to find. Some people might try that. You want to stay away from that. Okay, now for advertising, there is obviously quite a few things that you want to keep in mind according to RICO. They like for your advertising to be very clear, and they don't want you to exaggerate things that are not true. So they don't want you to say, Kyle is the #1 chosen agent in Oshawa. That's not true because you can't prove it.
Right.
But if you conducted a survey through a marketing company and surveyed 50,000 people, and they like you as #1, then you can put it on your advertising.
Okay.
But you have to have proof. You can't just say it because you think so.
Well, it's truth in advertising. That's the law.
Right. Yeah. Well, RICO's a little bit more strict about it, though. Okay. They don't like misleading ads. So the first point that they make is false advertising and falsifying information, and that could be anything. You could say that there's, I have a 1-bedroom for sale, and you really don't, and you're advertising it, but there's nothing there.
Mhm.
So just anything, or you're falsifying the prices just to get people to call you, and those
Yeah.
prices don't exist, and you're making people angry. Same idea, right?
Right.
But you'll see those kinds of things in the marketplace sometimes, and then they get corrected by RICO. Promises or inducements. So this is where you have to be careful. You say, you could buy a house through me, and I'll give you a vacation to Mexico. So the promises and inducements you're making for them to do business with you. You might have heard of some real estate companies that do cash back,
Yeah, I
things
have.
like that. So you have to be careful that they're in line with what RICO allows. RICO allows the broker to cut a check to the client directly. You're not allowed to give a cash back from your commission after
Now,
collecting.
what about a gift? For example, a Visa gift card.
RICO likes you to stay within $500.
And is that a RICO law that they can hold you to, or is that?
It's not a law, but they like you to stay at 500.
Okay, all right.
But so does Revenue Canada too.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay.
Revenue Canada says, okay, you made $10,000. Why did you give them a $2,000 gift? That doesn't even make any sense. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Don't you have business expenses? Like even Revenue Canada will say, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
So now the registrant's name. So obviously you see this example in brackets called condo specialist. You can't give yourself designations by yourself. You can't just say, well, I'm the doctor of real estate or whatever. You can't designate yourself. So, I mean, if you're awarded a condo expert by some like builder because you sell tons of condos there, you should have a certificate that says you're the condo expert for them.
Okay.
And then you could advertise it.
Yeah.
But you would need it.
Whatever you advertise, you just
need it in writing.
You got to be able to back it up.
Yeah, you do. You do got to back it up. Property, parties, and agreement with particulars. Those are things that if you're advertising, you can't advertise anyone's business without their consent. Mm-hmm. So if you sold my house and I didn't give you permission, you can't tell other people. You can't advertise it in your advertisements. You could tell people by using your comparables and your CMA. You're allowed to do that. Right. But you couldn't put it in the newspaper.
Okay.
Because I could say, that's my private information. Why are you doing that if I didn't understand your job?
Right.
Okay? There's and people like that.
Text message could take care of that.
Yeah, sure. Any permission you have is fine. Inaccurate representation is if you're representing something about your services, things that you do, and you don't. So if you start telling people, oh, I sell hotels all the time. You never sold one yet. That'll get you in trouble too.
Okay.
Errors in representation and fraud. So those are all things that are pretty clear. You make a mistake. You misrepresent the situation. It's fraud. It's all straightforward type thing. Okay. I apologize. Sorry about that. And now they're going to calm down. That's going to be in your recording. Sorry about that. You're going to have to listen to dogs barking. So showing of the property is where you basically have taken the buyers to the right property that meets the criteria. So you can't start showing properties with regard to the commission offered. So I can't start saying, you know what, Kyle, I know you want to live in Oshawa, but why don't we look at houses in Richmond Hill? Because the commission offered is 6%. I can't do that. I can't. I shouldn't be doing that.
Like integrity,
you
just got to think what you want it done to you.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and then you've got the SPIS, which is the seller property information sheet. It's basically like an interview you conduct with the seller to ask them all the questions. Hey, you got any basement leaks? You got any other problems that I should know about? And you get them to sign it, right?
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that they know about it and you've done it properly and it meets the requirements. It should have all the answers, questions that are there. Okay? Material facts is basically you want to make sure that everything is disclosed to the client or customer, whichever one you're getting. And you want to make sure that they understand all the facts that are true. Okay? Now, when you're drafting an agreement of purchase and sale, the written and legible one, so whatever you're writing I should be able to read it too. So should your lawyer. Okay? So you shouldn't be doing chicken scratch writing on purpose just because you're trying to write something and say, well, I don't even know what that says.
Yeah.
So if you say, there's a cashback for $500, but you write it in such messy writing, nobody can read it, it's got to be legible. That's like another practice that people have done. So all of these things that are coming up are things that have come up to RICO as well. Okay? Negotiating and presenting the offer. So now you're going to convey to the parties that there is an offer present first. So if you are going to prepare an offer, you're going to call the other agent if it's not your listing. Say, hey, just want to let you know I'm preparing an offer. You always want to give everyone a heads up.
Yeah.
Just because if there's another one coming, he can say, hey, I got another agent who called me too. So you can be prepared in that situation. So it's all about disclosure. Agreements related to commission. So it's usually based on the seller who's already agreed. So if you're working with the buyer, the listing agent has already taken care of what the commission is for you. That's already done. Okay. So in relation to commission, the seller's must be fully informed about all the offers at different prices with regard of what the commission is going to be received at. That has nothing to do with anything. Okay. So competing offers, it says that you want to disclose the existence, just kind of like what I described to you just previously. If you have an offer coming in and you're the listing agent, you need to tell the other agents that there's another offer coming in.
Yeah. Okay.
So you got to let them know. Okay.
So if you got another one coming in, do you always have to call everyone who saw the property, or just the people?
No, just all the ones that wanted to possibly make an offer.
Okay. Okay.
You want to let them know for sure. Okay.
And it's in your best interest anyway.
It is, but you are for REBA 2002. You got to do it.
Right. Okay.
You got to do it. So the copies of the agreements, you want to make sure that everyone has a copy of the agreement as well.
Okay.
Okay. So you want to make sure that, and you want to do it this early as possible.
Okay.
So if you know you're gonna go into an offer situation and you know most likely it's gonna work out, maybe take 4 copies with you.
Right.
Okay. So you can give everyone a copy right then and there and get it over with.
Right. Okay.
Just much better practice for you. Because
if I remember correctly, is there something I have to sign stating everyone got a copy of?
Yeah, there's an agreement there's an acknowledgement at the bottom.
Okay, right.
So you just want to do that. Just makes your life easier. Just gets more things out of the way that you don't have to deal with later. Hard to go chasing people later and make deliveries. Just do it right then and there if you can, if it's possible. Also, nowadays a lot of people they're using their iPad and using a stylus pen, so they're just emailing the copy of the offer right then and there too. That's just as good because you have proof in your email that you sent it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you got delivery of deposits and documents. So it's got to be done according to the agreement that you're preparing. So whatever you've written in the agreement, it's the delivery of deposits or whatever you decided. The deposits usually 24 hours. If it's a business day, if it's not a Sunday, but now we've even got some banks that are open Sunday. But anyhow, it's usually Monday to Friday. If you got an agreement signed, try to get the deposit in within 24 hours to make it, it's a lot easier for you too, because you have a time limit with RICO. So steps taken by the registrant, you want to keep everyone fully informed. That's just the main reiteration. You're going to hear it quite a few times. Handling the deposit, you got a 5-day provision, so the brokerage must deposit the funds in the trust account within 5 business days, and that doesn't include Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays.
Okay.
So you'll have a big lapse during the month of December and January. There's quite a few holidays that come up for us. So deposits will slow down then. The delay by cooperating broker, you have a 5-day provision for the listing brokerage. If you have a delayed deposit, they may be responsible for it. Okay. Failed agreements and return of deposit. Deposit can only be returned if you have a mutual release signed. Or you have a court order. One of the two. So if you have a mutual release signed, you can return the deposit to that person immediately.
So just a question. I'll use an example. My wife just worked with a client. He wasn't going to close on the house because he got cold feet. So if he decided he wasn't going to close on the house, how hard is it for him to get his deposit back? He doesn't get it, does he?
Not until there's a mutual agreement signed. Is the deal firm?
What if the people selling their house say, no, you screwed us over. Now we have to relist our house and everything like that.
Was it a firm deal?
Yeah, it was all firm.
Oh yeah, he's in breach of contract. He's gonna have a nightmare at the lawyer.
Okay.
He's in a straight breach because it doesn't matter if he decides not to close it for no reason. He's gonna have to pay for that now.
Okay. Great.
That's the financial compensation business we were talking about before.
Yeah. Okay.
He's in breach for sure, so he's gonna be in trouble financially. So if you have a mutual release, so let's just say you put an offer on a house, but you still have the conditions open. So you got financing, you got home inspection, and all those conditions are still valid. Let's say you don't get the financing, and you say, okay, well, let's do mutual release. I didn't get the financing. You get your deposit back with no deductions. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Now, if there's a court order for whatever that case is, say like the couple goes into a split or something else happens, The court order comes in, then the brokerage will be responsible to release those funds out of the trust fund.
Right.
Or the trust account, sorry. Unclaimed trust funds. So if the brokerage is not able to locate a person within 1 year, it must return all unclaimed funds over $25 to RICO.
Okay.
Usually that will never happen.
Yeah.
Ever. Okay.
Yeah.
Highly doubt it. Okay, so let's finish up our chapter 2, which is trust account now. Real estate trust account, this is where everything is separated, okay? So like when a brokerage is working, right, it has an expense account and it has a trust account. Everything that goes in trust is not touched for the use of the brokerage. It's not allowed, okay? They have to only use the trust money to go towards, the lawyer picking it up when it's time to close the deal. Or maybe the commission, or whatever the case is there, right?
Okay.
So now it says here, just give me a second here. So now it says here, in the trust account, it says the bank charges must be paid, but from the general account also, the trust account can't even pay for itself. Right? Do you understand? Okay. So that's how strict this account is. You can't take any money out of the trust account for anything.
Yeah.
It's literally only for, so like the payments to salesperson have to come from a commission trust account.
Okay.
So everything has to be separated and allocated properly, and everything has to be book kept as well. The brokers can only have one trust account with the registrar's approval, so they only get one trust account. That's referring to the real estate trust account, and then the commission trust account could potentially be different. Sorry, it says brokers can have more than one trust account. I'm so sorry, because you might have a commission trust account, and then you might have the actual real estate trust account in general. And then you would have an expense account. So the general account, which is the expense account, that does all of the normal transactions, like paying the secretaries and paying for the lights and paying for the water, the coffee, and all that stuff.
Right.
Okay? So you could have more than one trust account based on, like, you could have a commercial division, then you could have a residential division, or whatever the case is. So it all depends on how the office is structured.
Okay.
Disclosure of interest that's earned, you have to disclose the amount of interest that's going to be earned, so that would be in your agreement. So if your commission or your trust account pays 5% interest or whatever the case is, that also comes out of general.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Monthly bank reconciliation must be done. Shortfalls must be addressed immediately. Everything's like accounted for, and you have to have accountability in everything. The commission trust account, the commission trust account, otherwise insurance does not cover the registrants. So the brokerage must also have a commission trust account, otherwise RICO insurance will not kick in if that brokerage shuts down and goes bankrupt.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, so now I'm going to end off our Chapter 2 of Phase 3, General. Okay, so we're at about 18 minutes.